For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone with women's head basketball coach Julie Goodenough. Her team is tied for first place in the Southland Conference with just 2 losses, with 2 games left to play. And the first of those 2 games this week happens at home against Incarnate Word. And, Coach, it's your final home game of the season, and that means that the day that most of us have not been looking forward to for a long time. It means the last regular season home game, let's say that, for your 4 seniors, Lizzie and Susie Dimba, Alexis Mason, and Sydney Shellstead. How difficult will it be for you to focus tomorrow night?
Oh, you know what? We're going to approach this like any other game, and we are going to start a little bit early and have our senior recognition following the game. But this is a really important game for us, and our seniors will be the first to tell you the most important thing about tomorrow is getting another win. And so we're going to approach it very game-like, and hopefully be able to really enjoy the recognition after the game.
There will be so your traditional senior night festivities, the introduction of the players, their parents walking out with them, that'll be after the game, in between the women's and men's games, in other words, right?
Absolutely. And, there's been a lot of last home games the last week, for lots of teams around the country.
Right.
And it's been interesting, it's kind of a combination. Some people do it before, some people do it after. And we just felt like, such an early tip-off. It's hard for people to get here. We certainly would not want to take a chance of one of our seniors' parents running late, getting stuck in traffic in Dallas or in Sweetwater or wherever they're coming from. And so we're going to just tip off a little bit early, get after Incarnate Word, and then we'll have our senior recognition following the game.
Well, let's talk about Incarnate Word, because we'd be here all day if we talked about the 4 seniors, and I don't know if we could make it through it. So we'll skip forward to your opponent, and you get a player who I think, by the time it's all said and done, will wind up probably first-team all-conference, Celia Garcia-Panero, player of the week a couple of times, I think, including this week, and she's averaging 18 and 12 in conference play. You can't foul her because she's a good free-throw shooter. How big of a handful is she?
She's a horrible matchup for us. I mean, she scores on the perimeter, she drives, she makes free throws, she's proven to be the best rebounder in the conference right now. I mean, she's out-rebounding everyone in conference play, so really tough matchup for us. I mean, it's going to take our team playing defense by committee just to slow her down, or, just at best try to hold her to her average.
You have just a silly conference record here the last couple of years. I think you are 31-3 now in the last 2 seasons. There are a lot of numbers with these seniors, but to me, when it comes down to it, it's about, can you get it done when it matters? And you've won in a variety of ways this year, including I think about your last 2 Saturday games. You win by 1 with 2 free throws with 0.6 seconds, and then you win a game last Saturday in which you lead 17-2 after the first quarter. This team has found ways all 4 years, really, haven't they?
They have. I mean, it's been a luxury to have this class. The last 4 years, they've been through a gamut of adversity, injuries, and we've played some of the best teams in the country through the last 4 seasons, and they figured out how to get things done. And one thing about this group is they don't throw in the towel. I mean, they are gritty from start to finish. They have no quit in them whatsoever, and they really fuel each other, and they can read each other really well. They've spent so much time together. If they see that one in that group is a little bit down or frustrated, they don't allow it. They're kind of hard on each other too. It's like, hey, suck it up. We need you to get another rebound. And so they really, I think, thrive because they hold each other accountable. They are so competitive, and as a group, just like ultra competitive as a class. And they have just been tremendous leaders for us the last couple of years.
Just to clarify, Central Arkansas does not have a game midweek this week. They've played one more game than you have. You'll catch up to them on Wednesday night. Here's what we know. You're tied in the loss column. That means that if you can take care of your business, then at least one of your goals for this year will be accomplished, right?
Absolutely. For the last week or so, destiny has been in our hands, and, we just have to approach every game with very fine-tuned focus, and make sure that we go in knowing how to execute the game plan that our coaching staff has put together, and just take care of business. In the words of Lance Bingham, we're going to stay in our lane. What other teams are doing, we're not really concerned about other games going on. When our game's going on, we're just going to stay in our lane. We're going to run our race the best of our ability.
Yeah, the ACU track and field coach. Last thing, if any group deserved a huge crowd on Wednesday night for senior night, it would be these 4 seniors. But now there's a little extra incentive with our president. Tell us about that.
We've got the greatest president in America, Dr. Schubert. He is so encouraging and supportive supportive of our program. And
privately too, right? He'll talk to you
absolutely.
privately.
I mean, anytime I see him, he has just awesome encouragement for our team and support for us, and he's very complimentary. And and that may not sound like that big of a deal, but there are a lot of presidents in the country, they don't even know their women's basketball coach or any of the players on the team. And I mean, Dr. Schubert is so personable. He's one of the big reasons that ACU is such an incredible place. And for him to put his hair on the line tomorrow, I think it just speaks volumes of the support that he has for athletics overall. And so absolutely we want a big crowd so that tomorrow night we can see Dr. Schubert with purple hair. Just a great testament to just his loyalty and his support for us.
If at least 2,000 fans show up for the games tomorrow night, then Dr. Schubert will dye his hair purple. He says he'll do it at the games. We'll have to figure out where that's going to happen. Huge game tomorrow night. Senior night for the 4 seniors, Lizzie, Susie Dimba, Alexis Mason, and Sydney Shellstead. No, by the way, still a shot at a conference title. For Coach Goodenough, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.